Okay, I wanted to present a side of the glasses on this AR app that I haven't discussed much before, and that's with using the Tap Insight application that you see running now as a learning partner um, in helping to bridge divides in the world in order to learn about it, to change it, to make it a better place. So right now, you're looking at basically what I'm seeing, um, a calendar of events, um, a news, as well as the open claw heartbeat and time date, AQI, and some other information icons. So let's get into it. Earlier today, I had an interesting um, discussion with TapInsight about mathematics and history. Um, so let's delve into common roadblocks that we may face in learning about that. So I'm going to kind of reproduce the interaction that I had, and a lot of it will be new. So let's hope it works out. We'll try our best. I'm interested in learning about mathematics, but I have common roadblocks that a lot of people face in terms of, what types of delivery methods will the presentation have in the event? Where is it? And what kind of accessibility issues might I face for someone also who's new to the subject matter?
Of course, Mario. Neil would say that the desire to learn, even when faced with daunting subjects, is a spark to be cherished. To re answer some of your questions, since this is a seminar, it will likely be structured as a presentation, probably a lecture, followed by a Q&A where you can ask questions. Regarding accessibility, the event is located at UC Berkeley in Evans Hall, which should be universally accessible. You can always contact the organizers directly to double check entrances and elevators. And as a beginner, don't worry, Mario. Immersion is how we learn, and attending for exposure is a great way to familiarize yourself with the basic concepts. What do you think about that?
That sounds great. But I feel much better, but I still would like to have a little bit of an introduction to the subject matter. Can you tell me about the presenter and the topic of the presentation?
Neil would say, Mario, that understanding the messenger helps us appreciate the message. The presenter, Cameron Chang, is a researcher at UC Berkeley. He'll be discussing polyhedral complexes and their applications to combinatorics and geometry. Polyhedral complexes are like building blocks made of flat-sided shapes in multiple dimensions, and combinatorics figures out how many ways things can be arranged. Doesn't that sound fascinating? Is there anything else about him or the topic you'd like to know?
So, polyhedral means multi sided building blocks, but in multiple dimensions, which means that instead of it being like a flat surface, it has depth to it. And combinatorics is basically the way we can figure out how to count things. So, I'm trying to piece those things together. Um, can you just kind of explain to me how that can be done? Give a concrete example of that. I have some experience with college geometry, but um, I've never heard these two concepts combined.
You've got the basic ideas, Mario. Neil would say that thinking about polyhedra in higher dimensions is like stepping beyond our three-dimensional shadows into a richer geometric universe. Combinatorics comes in when we look at the building blocks themselves, how the corners, edges, faces, and higher dimensional parts can be connected, grouped, and counted. For example, think about analyzing different ways to fold a complex multi-sided shape in 5 dimensions. Combinatorics would tell you the number of possible fold patterns, and geometry would explore the shapes of the resulting structures. Does that make a clearer picture?
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the presenter. Is he someone who might be able to make it accessible to a beginner?
Well, Mario, Neil would say that a true master of science can bridge the grandest ideas to any mind. Cameron Chang is a researcher at UC Berkeley, and as someone embedded in that academic environment, presenters are often used to tailoring talks for different audiences, sometimes including beginners. I can't say for certain what his specific teaching style is like, but it's common for university presentations to start with an introduction that covers the basics before diving into the more complex stuff. What do you think about that?
Okay. Well, maybe we can review some of the basics before attending, just so we can get off to a good start. Um, let's start with YouTube videos. Can you just verbally tell me some good introductory YouTube videos that may apply to this subject?
Certainly, Mario. Neil would say that the universe is full of stories waiting to be told, and videos can make some of the most intricate concepts visible to our inquiring eyes. For introductory videos, you might want to check out channels like Numberphile, which has many engaging explanations of combinatorics puzzles, or 3 Blue, 1 Brown, known for beautiful visualizations of geometric ideas that could help ground the concept of polyhedral complexes. Mathologer also has fantastic deep dives into geometric and counting topics. Would you like me to send this list as a pickable list to your glasses, or should I just play one of them? You can also tell me which one to play.
Yeah, I know three blue, one brown does have very beautiful visualizations, and the narrator is quite clear and accessible. So instead of looking at that list on my glasses, why don't you go ahead and show me a good introductory video by three blue, one brown on the topic. So basically, it could have just displayed a list of the videos, and I could have just tapped through it. Um, you tap by using the arm. Also, it should be noted the CPU is on the arm of the glasses. It's not like a desktop PC, so it's going to skip a little bit. Um, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea.
Understanding one of the most important formulas in all probability. Bayes' theorem. This formula, it's central to scientific discovery. It's a core tool in machine learning and AI, and it's even been used for treasure hunting. In the 1980s, a small
Okay. So it looks like it's going into like a history um, of the topic. It's a vibrant presentation. It shows subtitles. I enable them in this app by default, so you can read along with what's being said. Um, and so that's pretty neat. I also know there's some Khan Academy videos. Um, so can you show me a 3D map of the venue? I just want to like see what I can expect if I go there. So while this is loading, The venue is Evans Hall at UC Berkeley, and and it uses Google Maps, 3D maps to where you can just tap around like a standard Maps app. It also has a flyover feature, which makes it more visually appealing. Um, Also, if you're more of a listening learner, um, we can also ask it to search podcasts on the topic, which we'll do next. And and so also um, I wanted to show the web browser, the Google search, so you can read more. Um, Basically, yeah, that's UC Berkeley. This is the flyover feature. You can see it has a lot of little parks, a lot of trees. If you wanted to go hiking afterwards to relax, you'll see the bit of the base of the mountains here, and you can go hiking up there. But yeah, you can scroll around. You can zoom out. Shows all the restaurants. There's the Bay Bridge here. That's San Francisco. You can move around. Anyways, that's fascinating. Could you also help me find some podcasts related to the subject matter?
Neil would say that the quest for knowledge expands our horizons, and podcasts are a wonderful way to explore these cosmic puzzles. I found some episodes related to combinatorics in geometry, Unlocking Combinatorics in Geometry Probability Fundamentals, which looks at how math handles chance, Combinatorics Principles and Sets, an episode about basic counting rules, and Coordinate Geometry and Shoelace Theorem, which maps shapes onto a grid. There are others too, covering things like path counting and 3D shapes. Would you like me to send this list to your glasses?
Yes. Okay. Looks like most of these are by the same podcaster, um, but they do seem to be on topic. Um, and you can iterate, ask questions, um, find different presenters just using your voice. You can either play by clicking on the podcast, or you can go, you can list other podcasts by the podcaster by um, clicking on the podcaster, and it goes in chronological order. I think, yeah. Let's see. And also, while you're doing your work, there's a camera on the glasses. If you want access to that, I would say it's like comparable to maybe a 10-year-old cell phone camera. Yeah. So you can ask it to like be a learning partner in looking at what you're um, writing and give advice. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I don't have the materials now. How about one more feature? Can you add to my Google to-do list to just research more on the subject that we just discussed?
Of course, Mario. Neil would say that the quest for knowledge never ends. I've added a task to your Google Tasks to do more research on polyhedral complexes and combinatorics. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Oh, thank you for adding that to my to-do list. I know I can show it in my HUD, just based on the configuration settings, but how about a Google search on the topic? And there you go. Now the way I'm controlling the pointer is just by swiping on the arm of the glasses. It has a built-in trackpad. Um, but I also have a text-to-speech function where you can read text files. Um, Images. If you wanted to access videos this way, you could. Um, yeah, so that is that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions, feel free to head over to the GitHub webpage and send me a message. All right.